Welcome everyone. Today we will be looking at auto casting with minions on death. So looking over here, what I want to show you guys is that my minions will be killed as I cast them, and I don't even have to be casting anything. So this is the basic concept with auto casting on minion death, and here you can see a few of the spells set up over here. So this is the general basics. Now, I do know guys, this particular auto casting loop has been nerfed, but my goal is to help you guys theorycraft and look into ways to make this stronger. Notice I'm still auto casting spells. So this particular auto cast function is supposed to be very broken in the meta in such a way that GGG actually had to nerf it. So this is actually the video from June who actually showed how powerful and also broken it is. So here is before the nerf. Here was auto casting fire spells which triggers Raging Spears and then triggers a lot of other spells and then loops back and back. So now he is an auto casting mage that just moves around. And this was working for mages, this was working for everything that was auto casting and just one-shotting things on the ground. Now this is pretty broken to the point that there was a hotfix that is coming with, it already happened. There was a hotfix that happened with Path of Exile so much that this has to be nerfed and this particular setup was nerfed. So my goal over here is to look into the availability and also possibilities to make cast on minion death great again for the Infernalist or maybe potentially for other builds. And because I'm playing the Infernalist, I do want to try this, especially after the nerf. I want to see it as a challenge to see if we can make it work. So let me explain the basics with the cast on minion death for you guys, for those of you that is not familiar with this. Now firstly, you can socket multiple cast on minion death. This is potentially a bug, or maybe this is intentional. So the first of all, in order to socket multiple cards on minion death, what you need to do is you need to be crafting those spirit gems without those there. Notice one is level 11, one is level 10. So here I have a spirit support. So if I come over to any of the spirit gem of a different level, I can go cast on minion death. And this will allow me to create another gem. So notice this is to create multiple cast on minion death. This will be the first step to make cast on minion death great. But if you already have a cast on minion death socketed, and here you're going to try to socket another one, what's going to happen is it's going to ask you to upgrade. You do not want to upgrade. So if you upgrade, it will override the existing one. You want to make a lot different ones on different levels. So here we have one on level 10 and also one on level 11. So this is a start. The next thing you can notice is you can socket any spell casting into cast on minion death. It can be something with double fire orbs or something with detonating dead, and previously anything to do with the fire spells was triggering the Raging Spirit, making this super broken. But of course, after the hotfix, we're going to avoid that. We can look into other avenues of triggering ice spells, electric spells, or any spells that can be great. For example, I can have a lot of triggering with detonating dead. And detonating dead will allow us to use corpses and dealing damages based on enemies' max life, which will allow us to scale further into the game as we face strong enemies. So now that you know how you can socket multiple cards on minion death, the next thing is you want to activate them. To activate them, it will cost you quite a bit of spirit, but because we have Infernalist, we have tons of spirit, and also a weapon and also chest give a lot of spirit. So this is not a problem. And let's keep going. The second thing you want to do is you want to make sure your your Raging Spirit, they die on time. So no matter what happens, as long as I summon the fire walls, 5 of those will be summoned, and now we have 10, they will die on time. What that means is they'll automatically die before they expire. And in order to make this work, what you need to do is you need to come over here to make sure they have Infernal Army, at least for me, so they're actually losing health over the time. Now I have also linked with Minion instability, so they're dying faster, and also with Feeding Frenzy, so they take more damage and also deals more damage. And second to that, you have to come over to the passive tree, remove any potential life regen for your minions, because this will offset them from dying, and they will expire. If they actually expire, you won't be getting energy. So if you want to consider looking into this, you have to make sure the Raging Spirits are dying before they expire, because if they expire, you will not get the mana for those auto castings. Now that we touch up on the basics and also the advanced concept of how you can loop everything and how everything can work, so then let's look into potentials of making this work. So first of all, you might have heard I'm saying detonating dead, and we do have a lot of corpses. As Infernalists, we want to make use of corpses, so we can have multiple detonating dead, or even one detonating dead will add towards our damage. and this also deals fire damage. So because we have ways of increasing fire damage with flammability, and also our minions are doing fire damage, it is ideal for the Infernalist to path into more damage with fire damage, and there are a number of ways to do so. We can get it on weapon, we can get it on gears, and of course we can be getting additional fire damage and also flames coming from the specialization of the Ascension. So notice here I have the Hound, and here I'm planning to get more Spirit. This is for a minion summoning path. But if you want the Infernalist to become a spellcaster together with minions and auto casting those things, we could potentially come over here. This is a little annoying to get used to from what I heard, but here if you have higher presence, your minions and also you would do higher fire damage. Together with abilities to have higher ignite chance and also magnitude, you can then potentially becoming the fire, ignite, burning, infernal legion mage. And all of your spells and also abilities will have ways of triggering additional fire, and this can help you to go to paths like those, and with gems that increase the magnitude of ignite you inflict. Now one thing that is very major and that is quite underrated is also over here. So here we have the demon form. Now the demon form, in case you guys are not knowing, the demon form will +5 to all spell skills, and this will turn you into a godly strong mage in the late game. Together with the demon form, you also have 10 demon flame, which will increase your damage by a lot. So 15% per demon flame. So we have 150% spell damage. And this in combination with the auto casting of spells give us another potential. So instead of going for those, we can go for demon form and then go for something else. And this will make our Infernalist, the demon auto casting summoner, very, very potentially powerful for the future builds. So this is definitely a potential for us to path into more of this kind of build, and those are just the initial setups. Now again guys, it is not as broken as previously, as you can see the videos, and I also attached Jungong's videos to show you guys, well, that was broken. So here I'm trying to start the initial theory crafting to share with you guys to see where we can take this. And as a community, if you guys have great feedbacks or pathways for the Infernalist, which I think we have great potential, just knowing the basics. As long as you start looping, you could even run 3 casts on Minion Death, and we become a spell casting auto mage. And yes, we're not auto casting Infernal Spirits, but that's okay. My Infernal Spirits will still be dying. And as my Infernal Spirit dies, I'm just casting this with my hand. And this still works. And if I can spam them fast enough, they can still auto loop. But it will take a little bit of clicking. And that also follows that we do have certain nodes that will increase our fire penetration against resistance, or anything that provide us with additional projectiles, additional fire damage, or maybe additional spell damage. So again guys, this is the starting concept. I want to make casting on Minion Death great again, and of course Raging Spirits are still one of the best ways to trigger this. It's just that they have made it so that it's not as good after the nerf, because before the nerf was broken. So my next step for you guys in the future for this particular pathway of theory crafting and also testing a spellcasting Infernalist is to start picking different skills and also combinations that will enhance the abilities of our minions. Or maybe I can use the minions to enhance the ability of my skills. And once I get more testings, stay tuned for this section of the videos, and I'll be kind of trying to do a different pathing for the Infernalist. Instead of using minions, I'll be spell casting, auto casting for more spell damage, and also become an Infernalist fire summoner. So if you guys are interested in a different way of playing Infernalist, make sure you subscribe, turn the notification on, and also stay tuned for the latest update on this particular section. Because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is gonna be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.